All right, welcome in everyone to another deep dive. We're really getting into the weeds today with something super practical.
Yeah.
One of our listeners actually sent this in. Text13.
Oh, wow.
It's a reading passage, a real,
Aye.
thing you're going to face as you prepare for your postgraduate
Right.
English entrance exam.
Yep. Yeah.
And we thought, okay,
Mm-hmm.
we really need to unpack this.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our mission is not to go super high level.
Yeah.
It's to get...
It's to ground it, I think.
Yeah, can we
Exactly.
break this text down into, its simplest parts?
Yeah, make it manageable.
So you know what the words mean, how the sentences are structured.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And then build from there.
Yeah, because you can't build a house without a solid foundation.
That's right.
Right.
So we've got the text, we've got the questions, and we're going to, use that as our roadmap. So we'll kind of get the main idea.
Yep.
Look at it sentence by sentence.
Sentence by sentence, word by word.
Word by word. Key vocabulary.
Mm-hmm.
Tricky bits.
Absolutely. Those are the ones that can really trip you up,
Yeah, and then take a stab at the questions.
That's right. Got to make sure we can actually apply this knowledge, right?
Absolutely.
Not just understand it, but actually use it.
So Text 13,
Yeah.
This whole thing is about how people use those online job websites and these things called search agents.
Oh, interesting.
To, try to find a job.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it starts off kind of telling us a story about a lawyer,
All right.
Gaunt Redman. And he successfully used one of these search agents.
Okay, so we got a success story right off the bat.
Yeah, it's good.
Then it moves on to, the career experts,
Right.
what they think.
The pros and cons.
Yeah.
Okay.
The good, the bad, the ugly, right? Yeah. Got to get all sides of it.
And then it even peeks behind the curtain a bit.
Oh, interesting.
And shows us how some websites
All right.
design their search agents.
Yeah.
And it kind of wraps up by being
Yeah.
hey, these tools are actually useful, even if you're not...
Good if you're not actively looking.
Yeah, pounding the pavement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I like that they start with Gaunt Redman's experience, right?
Yeah.
Because it kind of,
Yeah.
gives us a picture,
Yeah.
of how this works.
Concrete example.
In the real world, right?
Absolutely.
Before we dive into all the,
Yeah.
theory and the opinions and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like telling a story before you give a lecture, right?
That's right.
It's a lot more engaging.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
let's get down to brass tacks.
All right.
And look at how these sentences are put together.
Yeah.
Starting with the very first one.
All right.
Okay. Hunting for a job late last year. Lawyer Gant Redman stumbled across Career Builder,
Okay.
a job database on the internet.
All right. So it's a bit of a mouthful, right?
Yeah, it's a long one.
It's a long one, but what's the core of it? What's the main thing happening here?
Yeah. So who is doing the action?
Right. Who's doing what?
So we've got Lawyer Gant Redman.
Mm-hmm.
And what's he doing?
Yeah.
He stumbled across Career Builder.
He stumbled across. Okay, so that's our basic sentence right there. Subject, verb.
Yeah, and think of stumbled across
Yeah.
as meaning found it unexpectedly.
Kind of like you're walking through the park.
Yeah.
And you trip over a $100 bill, something like that.
Exactly.
Just it's a lucky find.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and then notice that bit at the beginning. Hunting for a job late last year.
Right.
It's giving us...
Yeah, so that's what we call a participle phrase, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically just giving us extra information about Gaunt Redman, right?
Yeah.
When was he hunting for a job?
Yeah.
Late last year. So it's setting the stage.
Exactly.
Right. And then, you've got a job database on the internet.
Right
after Career Builder.
Yeah, set off by commas.
Set up by commas. That's what we call an appositive, right?
Yeah.
And it's basically just like saying Career Builder,
Yeah.
which is a job database on the internet. It's just clarifying what Career Builder is.
Yeah, so just to be super clear, we all know what we're talking about.
Exactly. Got to make sure we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. So to sum up that first sentence, Lawyer Gant Redman, looking for a job last year, unexpectedly finds this online job database, Career Builder.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty simple.
Simple, right?
Now, the next sentence.
All right.
He searched it with no success,
Okay.
but was attracted by the site's personal search agent.
All right, so he obviously refers to
Gant Redman.
Gant Redman, right?
Yeah.
And it refers to
Career Builder.
Career Builder. Good.
Yeah, so he's looking through Career Builder,
Yeah.
not finding what he wants.
So he's searching, but he's not finding anything good.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then we have that keyword, but.
But yeah, so but tells us there's a change, right? There's a contrast.
Yeah.
It's like saying, okay, he didn't find anything through a regular search, but something else caught his eye.
Yeah, and that's something else.
Right, the site's personal search agent.
Yeah.
Okay, so notice sites, first of all, right?
Yeah.
That little apostrophe S, that shows possession, right?
Yeah.
So it means it belongs to the website.
Yeah.
And then we got personal search agent in quotation marks.
Yes.
Right, which kind of tells us that that's a specific name for something.
Right.
Or maybe the author wants us to pay attention to it.
Yeah, it's important.
Yeah, exactly.
So what is this personal search agent?
Yeah, well, the next sentence tells us, right?
Yeah.
So it says it's an interactive feature that lets visitors key in job criteria, such as location, title, and salary.
Okay.
Then emails them when a matching position is posted in the database.
Okay, so this one's longer.
It's a long one, yeah, but we can break it down, right?
Yeah.
So it's an interactive feature, okay.
Refers to the
personal search agent.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And interactive.
Yeah.
Basically means you can interact with it, right? You could do stuff with it. It responds to you.
It does stuff back.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just a static thing.
Yeah.
So then we got that lets visitors key in job criteria.
Okay.
So that here is starting what we call a relative clause.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's basically just adding a description to interactive feature.
Okay.
Right. So it's telling us what this interactive feature does. Okay. It lets visitors key in. Key in basically just means to type in.
Okay.
Okay. So it lets the visitors, the people who are using the website, type in their job criteria.
So what they're looking for.
Exactly. The specific things they want in a job.
Okay.
And then it gives us some examples, right? Such as location, title, and salary.
Yeah, so that such as tells us that those are just examples.
Examples, yeah. There might be other things you can key in, but those are the main ones.
Like just a few of them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the agent lets you tell it what kind of job you want.
Yeah.
And then what?
Yeah, then what happens?
What happens next?
Okay, so it then emails them.
It emails them, okay?
Whoop, them?
Who's them?
Goes back to the visitors.
The visitors.
Right.
The people who put in.
The people who typed in their criteria.
Led their criteria. And when does it email them?
Right. Good question.
We've got that when.
When.
And that introduces...
Well, time clause. Our time clause, when a matching position is posted in the database.
Okay, so it emails you when a job that fits what you said you want.
Yeah.
Right? A matching position is added, is posted to the database.
And that is posted is passive voice.
Good catch. That is passive voice, which means we're focusing on the action of posting.
Right.
But we don't really care who's doing the posting.
Exactly.
The focus is on the job being posted.
It's like, someone posted it. We don't know who. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. It's not important for this sentence.
Right.
So you see how we break it down, right?
Yeah.
We find the main subject, the main verb.
Yeah.
We figure out what these little words like that, such as, and when, are doing.
Yeah.
And suddenly the sentence becomes a lot clearer.
Yeah.
This is so important for understanding English,
Absolutely.
Any English text.
Yeah.
You got to be able to break it down like this.
Okay, so we're going to skip ahead a little bit in the text.
Okay.
Where the experts are giving their opinions.
All right.
Okay, so this one says, every time you answer a question, you eliminate a possibility, says one expert.
Okay.
And this one's pretty straightforward.
It is pretty straightforward, yeah.
Every time tells us this happens repeatedly.
It happens over and over again, yeah.
Yeah.
Every single time.
So you answer a question, meaning when you,
you put in a specific requirement for your job search.
A requirement for your job search.
Yep.
You eliminate a possibility.
You get rid of a possibility.
Meaning you're getting rid of a potential...
A potential job, yeah. That you might have been interested in if you hadn't been so specific.
Right. So it's like if you say you only want a job in a big city...
Right.
You might be missing out on them.
Exactly. You might be eliminating all those great jobs in smaller towns.
Yeah.
Right.
That you might have loved.
Yeah, you just never know.
That's right. And the next expert says, for any job search, you should start with a narrow concept. What you think you want to do.
Right.
Then broaden it.
Okay, so start focused and then open up.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, and then another expert chimes in. None of these programs do that. He says, there's no career counseling implicit in all of this.
Right. So implicit in means it's kind of like suggested but not directly stated.
Yeah, like it's kind of like hinted at.
It's hinted at, but it's not, it's not written in bold letters.
Right.
Right.
Yeah. So they're basically saying that these search agents They're just tools.
Yeah, they're tools. They're not like career counselors, right?
Right.
They're not going to sit down with you and have a conversation about your hopes and dreams.
Right.
Right. They're just going to help you find jobs that match your criteria.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay, so now we're going to look at another sentence.
Yeah.
That
talks about how one website, career site, works when career site's agent sends out messages to those who have signed up for its service. For example, it includes only 3 potential jobs.
Right.
Those it considers the best matches.
Okay, so again, when starts our
Time clause.
time clause. Good.
When the agent sends messages,
Yep.
and it refers back to
The
agent, okay?
Yeah.
Includes only 3 potential jobs.
Okay, so potential just means
Could be.
they could be suitable. Yeah.
Suitable.
Right.
And then we have a
Positive.
positive, those it considers the best matches.
Right, so it's just giving us more information about those 3 jobs.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So,
And then it says,
yeah.
there may be more matches in the database.
Okay.
Job hunters will have to visit the site again to find them.
Right.
And they do.
Okay, so may suggests possibility.
Yeah.
Right, there might be more, there might not be.
Yeah.
But if you want to see them,
Yeah.
you got to go back to the website.
So people looking for jobs, job hunters,
Job hunters.
will need to go back to the website, and it says, and they do.
And they do, yeah. So that tells us that people are actually doing that.
Like, it's working.
This strategy is working.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it continues.
And then it tells us why.
And explains why.
Yeah.
On the day after we send our messages, we see a sharp increase in our traffic, says Seth Peets.
Okay, so
Wherever that is.
right, so a sharp increase in our traffic basically means a lot more people are visiting the website.
Yeah, all of a sudden.
Suddenly, yeah, big jump.
Okay.
Right. So they're limiting the number of jobs they show you in the email
Right.
to tempt you
Yeah.
to go back to their site.
Yeah.
It's all about getting those clicks.
Right. So last sentence from the last paragraph.
Okay.
Even those who aren't hunting for jobs may find search agents worthwhile.
Okay, so that even those tells us.
Yeah.
It's not just for people who are
Yeah, like actively looking.
actively looking, yeah.
Right.
So even if you're,
Yeah.
happy in your current job,
Yeah.
you might still find these things useful.
Right. May find means.
It means it's possible, right?
Yeah.
You might not.
It's not guaranteed, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, exactly.
And worthwhile.
Means useful or valuable.
Okay, so what kind of stuff are they using it for?
Right, well, it says
Yeah.
some use them to keep a close watch on the demand for their line of work,
Okay.
or gather information on compensation,
Yeah.
to arm themselves when negotiating for a raise.
So how many jobs
Yeah, like how many jobs are out there in their field, right?
in their field?
Demand means like, how much need is there for people in that profession?
Yeah.
And compensation refers to salary and benefits.
Yeah, all that good stuff.
The money, right?
Right. And to arm themselves?
Yeah, that's a figure of speech, meaning to prepare themselves.
Okay.
Right, with information.
With information, yeah. So they're basically saying, do your research, know what you're worth before you go in and ask for more money.
Right.
So you see how even these longer sentences, when you break them down, find the main parts, figure out how everything connects, it becomes so much clearer.
Yeah.
Right.
So let's move on to some vocabulary.
All right, let's do it.
That might be a little bit
Some of those tricky words.
tricky. So you mentioned stumbled across earlier.
I did, yeah. That's kind of a casual way of saying found by chance.
Yeah.
So instead of saying Gant Redman found career builder, I'd say stumbled across.
Yeah.
Which makes it sound more like it was an accident.
Yeah, like he wasn't.
Yeah, he wasn't specifically looking for career builder. He just happened to find it.
Right.
While he was looking for something else. Okay, and what about attracted by?
Attracted by basically means interested in or drawn to.
Yeah.
So he wasn't successful with his initial search.
Yeah.
But something else on the website caught his attention.
Okay.
Right.
Then we have criteria.
Ah, criteria.
This is the plural of criterion.
Criterion, which means?
Which means a standard or a rule.
Okay.
Right, that you use to make a judgment or a decision.
Okay.
So job criteria are basically
the
specific things you're looking for in a job.
Right, and matching position.
Yeah, that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, so that's
a job that fits all the criteria you've given it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, and then we have that idiom.
Oh, yeah. Idiom struck gold.
Struck gold. So that means to find something really valuable.
Yeah.
Or to be really successful.
Yeah. Unexpectedly.
Often unexpectedly. Yeah, like you weren't even trying.
Yeah.
And then, bam, you hit the jackpot.
Right.
Right.
Okay. And then in-house counsel.
In-house counsel. So this is a lawyer who works directly for a company.
Yeah. Part of their staff.
Part of their staff. Yeah, as opposed to, being hired from an outside law firm.
Yeah, like their own personal lawyer.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then promising openings just means jobs that
look good.
Look good. Yeah, like they could be a good opportunity.
Yeah, like they have potential.
Exactly.
So we had time-consuming and inefficient.
Right. Time-consuming
means a long time.
Takes a long time.
And inefficient.
Means it's not very effective.
Right.
Right. You're putting in a lot of effort.
Yeah.
But you're not getting the results you want.
And search agents.
Yeah.
Reduce the need for repeated visits.
Right. Reduce the need for means to lessen or decrease.
Yeah.
Right.
The need for something.
The need for something, yeah.
Okay.
So you don't have to go back to the website as often because the search agent is doing some of the work for you.
Okay. And then we had drawbacks.
Drawbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just a fancy word. Problems or disadvantages.
Okay.
Right.
And then the idea of eliminate a possibility.
Yeah, to eliminate means to
get rid of.
Get rid of, yeah.
Okay, and then they contrasted narrow concept with broadening it.
Narrow means
limited.
Limited, yeah.
Okay.
And broaden means to make it
more open.
More open, yeah, more expansive.
More expansive, okay.
All right.
And then we had implicit in.
Implicit in, meaning
hinted at, but not
directly stated.
Directly stated, okay.
Yeah.
And keep abreast of.
Oh, keep abreast of. That's a good one.
So that means?
It means to stay up to date.
Okay.
Right.
With the latest information.
With the latest information, yeah.
Okay.
So, you don't want to fall behind.
Yeah.
Got to keep abreast of what's going on.
The job guide author said
not to rely on agents.
Yeah, rely on meaning
to depend on.
Completely.
Completely, okay.
Right.
And career site, they try to
tempt job hunters.
Tempt, meaning to
persuade them, yeah.
Okay.
To do something maybe they wouldn't normally do.
And in this case, to go back
to the website
and visit, and they show
potential jobs.
Yeah, meaning they
could be suitable.
Could be.
Right.
Okay, and then Seth Peets talked about
sharp increase in traffic.
Sharp increase, meaning
a sudden and significant rise.
Yeah.
Big jump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we also had worthwhile.
Worthwhile meaning
useful, valuable.
Valuable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And demand for their line of work.
Demand here refers to the need, the desire for people in that profession.
Okay, compensation.
That's our salary and benefits.
Salary and benefits.
Right.
And
to arm themselves.
Arm themselves with information.
Yeah.
Yeah, means
prepare themselves, basically.
Prepare themselves, equip themselves. Negotiating for a raise.
Yeah.
You're going to your boss.
Yeah.
And you're saying, hey, I want more money.
Right.
Right.
And then finally, to keep your eyes open.
Oh, yeah. That's an idiom.
Meaning to stay.
To stay alert.
Yeah.
Be aware of opportunities.
So often you can kind of get a good sense of what a word means.
Yeah. Just from the context.
Yeah, by reading the words.
Right. Like you don't need to know the dictionary definition of every single word to understand what's going on.
But it's good to know.
It's good to know those precise definitions, especially for,
especially exam
like this.
Yeah, for this exam.
Right. Okay, so.
All right, let's tackle these exam questions.
Tackle these exam questions.
And all this knowledge to the test, right?
Yeah.
See if we can actually use it.
Thank you to both hosts for joining us today. In the next issue, we will continue to analyze the postgraduate entrance examination questions. The original text of this episode's video text can be viewed in full at ysht.me. Let's meet again in the next issue.